Skool. You
Back
know
again,
what it
back
is.
again.
You know who it is. Hey, it's OG Lee. UNDE.
OG Lee in the house.
Uh-huh.
Once again.
Once again.
Thank
Hey,
goodness.
thank goodness. We stamping this thing best father-son podcast in America, bro.
Best?
The best.
The best?
Somebody got to say something else, bro. Or show us something, bro. But hey, we back, bro. We are back.
A little vacay.
A little vacay, a little
vacay.
extended kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I almost forgot how to do this, man.
I know. It's like we straight. It's natural, bro. We back, man.
So what the hell's been going on, man?
That's what I'm saying. What's up with you? And a mental health tip. You know we got to come back. Start back how we left. Left. Might have said left.
Mentally, everything is good, man. Everything is good as it could be. Yes, indeed. Just like always. Living life day by day.
Day by day.
Yes, sir.
Day by day. You been watching any of the Olympics?
Man, I don't just sit down and watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just watch it in spurts.
That's how I've been.
And,
I haven't.
I seen
in.
some of the gymnastics, and surprisingly, man, I didn't see not one basketball game.
Not a single one, bro. Not even highlights.
I saw some of the highlights on ESPN.
Yeah.
And the main highlight I saw was when Steph Curry killed him. I think with a few minutes left, he hit three
he won
pointers.
the last two games of their little stretch. He went nutty.
Yeah.
Against Serbia.
But did you know, man? Like when we used to
France.
watch the Olympics back in the day, I don't know when they changed it. I think it was during Magic Johnson's time. But they didn't used to send professional athletes to the Olympics.
Yeah, what was the reason of that? I was confused about that. I
Just
heard that.
America wanting to be so competitive and win, because we weren't winning with our amateur athletes, so they went to pros. But when you look, to me, even though now you got more athletes from other countries in the NBA, right? So it's a little more competitive. But when they first started, they were wiping teams out because they were professional athletes, and no other teams had teams to compete. It's, particularly in basketball.
So wait, so I'm understanding correctly. We didn't even have to send our people, or are you saying we couldn't compete on that level?
Well, we sent amateur athletes, college on down.
Yeah, but were we competing? What was the competition like?
It was okay. It was head to head, neck and neck, but we weren't just winning. Head over heels, and that's what we wanted as a country. We want to go wipe people out. Take all of the medals.
Which is great. I saw the women's basketball. They ain't lost the game since I think they said '94.
The Olympics and the women. Yeah, because most countries ain't got as many bull jackets as America.
Man, we
playing basketball and shit, man.
Since '94, we're not a single loss.
Bro.
Not like we haven't lost a single game.
Not a single game, you said?
Since '94.
Oh, okay. I'm not surprised though. We got some serious basketball players, and other countries for the most part don't. Their women are not, waking up every day going to the gym. And our women lift weights and everything else, as far as their training. So shit, I'm not surprised that they win.
How long, like you said, you haven't been watching it, right? But you've been catching Olympics here and there. How long you been watching anything? You got any?
Yeah, since 19. I can specifically remember 19. I think it was gonna be 72.
Ooh, okay. I wasn't ready for that.
Whichever Olympics featured, because I think he was in maybe 72 and 76. Swimmer by the name of Mark Spitz. I just remember that.
72-ish?
He was killing. Yeah, he was killing like he was the Michael Phelps. Is that Michael Phelps the name, right? Yeah. He was the Michael Phelps of the day.
Of the 70s?
Mark Spitz. And so I remember it from there. And we used to win most competitions for the most part. Big country, good training facilities. So we used to win a lot. But you know what, man? I seen some of these athletes, right? They represent other countries.
You don't like
that?
But
they train in America. So it's like, wait a minute, man. If you train in America and then you go over to your country and you do happen to win, okay, it's because you got your training here in America.
Joel Embiid.
Because the girl did that. The girl, the runner. I think she's from University of Maryland or something like that. She trained at or whatever. But it's the girl runner. She's from one of the island countries. They were the first. She won it for them the first time.
Yeah.
I
know. I can't think of it.
But it was wild once I learned.
She dusted them though, right?
Yeah, but once I learned, she's trained in America and goes to school and everything in America. I thought, That's great, you know, to represent your country, cool. But I mean, you wouldn't have won if you would have trained in your country.
So if you train in your country, I mean, if you're training in America, you thinking they can't run for their country, even though that's where
No,
they're
I want them
born?
to if they whoever they want to run for. But what I'm saying is, you got this
Bottom
training
line,
and this eliteness from being in America. You would have never trained like that to be able to win, is what I'm saying. If you stayed in your third world country,
I don't know though, bro. You think so?
Who? Which athletes?
We go and get them, bro. That's how we find them and bring them over here.
Right, and that's a good thing. But I'm saying then, of course, they like somebody who plays in the NBA, right? Now I don't know where they trained at. So if they trained and went to college, whatever, play ball in their country, then sure.
Yeah.
But if you got all of your training in America, then you damn near American.
I think you might have offended Giannis or somebody like that, or
Giannis, he played for his country, right?
He did play for his country, yeah.
In the Olympics, he played for his country, right?
Yeah.
What happened to him? They lost, right?
Get them on, yeah. They can't be the gang of,
so it's just a matter of it cost him going saying. But he came out right out of the streets, right? He ain't went to no college, did he?
I remember Young. No, I guess not. He probably played like, you know how they do the
he played
international
that. He tried
ball.
to play that Greek pro shit probably or wherever, and then he said they're not paying me like they pay in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they usually have a little program though. They kind of put them in that league, kind of develop them a bit, and then you know they in talks with the NBA, just like Wemby or somebody like that.
So like what they
were they going to high school?
Was they talking to with his brother? Giannis' brother.
No, I'm telling you, Giannis has his brother in his contract, bro. You better start playing.
For real though, he got his brother in the contract.
No cap.
Man, that's family shit right there.
No,
so I ain't going nowhere without my brother.
You got Thanasis or whatever his name is.
Put him in my contract.
That boy's a what they call him, not marquee, but you know what they call him? Franchise player.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You make them calls. You make them calls, bruh.
Because there's so much money they get from that. Not just, you know, what people see, but just in terms of the people that come to the stadium, man.
Revenue.
Even if they don't win a championship, the owner is not, you know, he's not sad.
You never heard.
Because he got some marquee players that are going to attract people to the stadium.
And buy high-priced food and jerseys. What you think makes some more money, arena food or jersey sales?
Do they usually sell the jerseys? They usually sell them at the arena, right?
They do, but you know it's online sales. Yeah. People usually come with the jersey on.
I don't know. I think probably real close. But I wonder which one has a higher markup. You know what I'm saying? Because they're selling you some 50-cent hot dogs and shit like that or whatever.
Jerseys, they get made for $2.
In China?
Yeah, Chinese man. In a Chinese man. But on the talks of Olympics, bro, you said 72 you had a memory. What's his name? Mark Spitz? Mark Spitz. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Well, is that one of your like standout memories, or you got any
That's
other?
That's the only one I remember, man. Now the guy, John Carlos, I think was his name. I think that was the '68 Olympics. You know, when the brother, you know. Mm-hmm. But I was too young to really say that I saw that, but I do kind of remember that. You know, but all the other Olympics, I don't really remember. You know, not going far back, but Mark Spitz stuck out.
For me, I'm saying a '93 baby, a basketball fan, bro. 2000 Olympics, Vince Carter jumping over.
Oh my goodness, the kid from France.
Was he France? Who was it?
France, man, because that dude, I just found that out recently.
Filthy.
That dude never lived this down.
Frederick Weiss.
Whatever, he never lived this down. And the thing is, man, the boy needed counseling. So I got to rank Vince Carter as number one now. I was a little bit on the fence, but when you dunk on somebody and say, "Yo, you're gonna need counseling when I get through with you," that's some serious shit.
That really is, bro. You really ruin his career from one play when he's on defense. Sheesh, around, and he doesn't get injured. That's really the craziest part.
And every time I see these brothers, man, I always think back to the guy who they said invented basketball, Naismith or whatever, in the early days of basketball. And I'd be like, man, you never thought it was going to be like this. Man. You never thought it was going to be like this.
East Bays and
jumping over that boy's head and throwing it down on him. It's just nasty.
Even how it happened to Steele.
Hats off to Vince Carter, man.
Fast break steal at half court to it.
But that was a sweet pass my man tried to do. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember he tried to throw it kind of like behind his back?
Yeah, snag.
And Vince caught it mid-court and then just came down and just, oh my
goodness. Disgusting.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking with this old school, new school. We've been back.
Let me see if I see that smoke.
Okay,
but yo, you got a tight haircut. I like that, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. But and we're gonna have my barber on here too. He's gonna tell me about his little sauce and whatnot. But in other news, old school, new school, we stepped away for a little bit, bro. We potentially could have been wasting people's time waiting for us, right, to come back.
Could have been.
So I'm thinking
they could have said, glad these son of a bitches are off the
air. We might have made some people happy, but look, we're coming back, bro. We got to give these people something with us being out, right?
Sure. What we gonna give them?
So OG Lee is on the stock tip. I myself have a background in banking a bit, you know, maybe a little financing, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
We got to give them something each episode, a little tidbit, right? And in this one, I think some OG Lee we were even talking about today recently, a stock strategy, defined as fishing at the bottom. Yeah. Tell the people about that a little bit, bro. This when they turn their ears on, you know what I mean? Get a little game from old school, new school.
I didn't know I was gonna do this, man. But it's just my strategy, which is obviously everybody in business or finance or investing or whatever. The idea is to buy low, sell high.
Absolutely.
And you can do that on a long-term basis or a short-term basis, right? And so for people who are not in it, I wouldn't even recommend that. I would just recommend them just get their feet wet, maybe by buying into something for long term.
Penny stock, you do anything? Yeah?
No penny stock.
No
something real good, a real good company for long term.
Okay,
but once you get into it and you start trading, then and especially if you're doing short term or day trading, then you're looking for where a stock trades at or near the bottom for that particular day.
And when you say bottom, right? Not everybody's privy. What are we referencing the bottom?
Well, just that bottom price for that particular trading session.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I really wouldn't recommend that for anybody who's just starting. For people who's just starting, we're going to have an episode on that where we just want them to open up a trade account or a bank account. Most of the time you're going to open up some kind of trade account to trade stocks. And just open it. That's the first thing we're going to deal with. Just the opening, not even buying in, just to say, hey, I got a stock account. Because you don't need a lot of money to start one. But to open one, you don't need anything. You don't have to fund it like when you go to a bank and open it, they want you to put some money in.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that with a stock account. You can just open it and establish it. And then we're going to just take baby steps into investing in like one stock. Because you can buy one stock. Right now, they don't charge a commission per se, so you can go in and buy you one share of Walmart, one share of Target, one share of Kroger, one share of Hershey's, one share of, whatever. I forget the name of the people who sell Budweiser, and then of course there is Budweiser themselves. But you'd be surprised too. Some companies you have a name like Budweiser, and then once you go to look, you'll be surprised how many other products they're into. But anyway, yeah, we'll get to that at some other time. As far as the trading strategy, man, it's just bottom.
Yep, fishing at the bottom.
Looking at the bottom, the earliest as possible to try to get a feel for it. It's something you got to get a feel for. And then, of course, you buying low and selling high. I'm going to start in the mornings, man, probably in about a month or so, where I start that morning out and show what particular position I'm in and just go through the whole process of how I get in and get out.
And like you were saying, it's not a day account. So this is a situation where the market is opening. He's checking out news, right? Seeing if the stock could possibly have a downtrend for the day.
Well, what happens, man, I'm going to say this real quick.
Yeah.
Is a lot of times a good stock, a good company, will maybe go up 1% to 2% in a trading session. But there are certain times when there are certain catalysts and they are either good or bad for the company, it could swing the stock price way more than any 1 or 2%, sometimes 10 or 15%. And one of those sessions is earnings. If a company, because that's what people are investing in stocks on usually, what they're earning, right? As that relates to their value. So if you look at a company and they have an earnings report every quarter.
Yep.
If the earnings report does not, as they will say in the vernacular, if it does not meet the street's estimates, in other words, the analysts will say we expect this company to earn X amount of cents per share, X amount of dollars per share.
Right.
If they don't meet what those analysts have forecasted, the company gets hit. Sometimes 10, 15% in a session. Yeah. And so that's what I look for. Good, excellent companies who miss earnings. And their stock price swings down 10 or 15%. Try to catch it down at that bottom. And then usually the next trading session or so, they rebound back because it's just this small miss a lot of times. It's just small. And then they realize, yeah, they missed, but guess what? They still made $1 billion.
Pushing.
You know what I'm saying? So given that it's still a good, viable company, nothing has changed in a day. People realize that, they go back, and it usually rebounds a lot. So try to catch those situations.
Hey, that's just a little something, right? For the schoolie gang, for the schoolies listening, right? And this is also when y'all go and kind of like, comment, subscribe, you know what I mean? Tap into one of them social medias. We building.
Which is the social medias again?
We got Snapchat, bro.
Snapchat. Instagram.
YouTube in it.
YouTube.
Check us on some audio platforms.
Facebook, ain't it?
Facebook too, man.
Yeah.
Check OG Lee's Instagram, my Instagram. We got individual stuff. Anything out there, bro, right?
Man, if you want to make some gains, check out my crypto page or check out my Facebook page. It's called Stock Talk. And I think I put some good information on there. I just started back again. I took a little break, but I just left a couple on there, man, that I guarantee you, if people
get a little money,
especially if they're long-term. Because I get some good long-term players with some dividends, you know what I'm saying?
I can attest to it. But this is Old School New School, right?
Yeah, yes indeed.
I'm UNDE. This is OG Lee.
Once again.
And on here we go from some serious shit like stock, a way to get you ahead, to sometimes just crazy scenarios.
Yeah, you gotta be my point that I put on this for people. You don't have to buy stock. You don't have to buy real estate. You do whatever. The point is, get into something. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't get into something,
you ain't gonna be into nothing.
You got nothing. Yeah. So if you're looking, and let me just say that real quick on that, since you brought up this whole financial thing, because a lot of times people don't understand the idea of inflation, you know, which I don't fully understand it, but the idea is that the prices go up around you, and in this case that we've seen this last go round, they went up a hell of a lot. Right? So the idea is when you spend your money to try to spend it on something that will try to keep up with the shit around
investment,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're buying clothes and shit like that, it has no value, you know? So the minute you spend that money, it's lost value, and in the long term, you know that you're gonna have less money than you started with. Yeah.
So, for example, if you happen to ever get a large lump sum of money from your president, invest in something, bro. Don't spend it on material shit. Or that inflation bug.
Now this is a tip that I could give someone that will help them for their life in terms of them ever getting a lump sum. Because sometimes we do that, like you said, through your taxes or who knows. But the first thing to do is to wait 60 to 90 days before you ever do anything.
That's a clutch one.
Because what usually happens when you get a lump sum is that your mind races, and if you've never had money like that, for instance, man, you could think about everything you want and need, right? In that order, everything you want and need. So at the end of the day, a few months a lot of times just goes by, and you realize, damn, I'm almost out of money, you know? Whereas if you would have thought 60 to 90 days, I guarantee you, you would not spend the money on the same things that you did 60 to 90 days prior. 60 to 90, when you were just being impulsive, right? So any amount of money you get that's a lump sum, The best thing to do is wait 60 to 90 days for that, what I call that settling period. You know what I'm saying? For you to think things over and really make the right moves.
That's a good one right there. That's a good one. But can I hit you with a new school crazy scenario?
Absolutely, man. Damn, you knocked my head off.
Boy, I threw that. That was one of them crazy ones.
I hit you, and it was like a gust of wind just came and just
rocked your block. But this scenario right here, right? So you just imagine.
Boy, if I start imagining, boy.
You find out, say I'm about like 6 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, we go maybe to the doctor or something, and you find out that there's like a chip implanted in me. You find out it's been there since I was born. What's your next move, or what you want to find out about the chip, or what are you even gonna do? You gonna care about it? We find out about 5 or 6.
Yeah, at this point, I probably could sue. So I would want to know who put it in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think it's a good idea, it just seems like it's something on that robotic type shit or futuristic type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a hell of a good idea, a chip. And some people already have it where they got a chip on their hand or their finger. When they enter their workplace, they just hold it up to the thing, you know?
Yep.
So it's not really invasive, but it's just the idea. But it's a real good thing, especially for a kid.
Okay,
I mean, again, you know, especially if they could even put in now probably something like a chip that's hard plastic or whatever, you know, that wouldn't probably do something like a metal might do, right, to the bloodstream or whatever. Mm-hmm. So as long as it wasn't a health risk, I could do. I really would like, but I would want to know and me make the choice of doing it. I would want to do it when my kid is very young, because people do steal kids nowadays.
Say you go to inquire about the chip's whereabouts, and people are like,
you mean where it is in the body?
We're not like asking like where you try to find out where it came from or who put it in there, and people.
Oh, you know them white folks gonna lie about that shit.
Yeah, so it's like
yeah, I don't know, man. I would just at this point, if it wasn't, you know, really a health risk, I would leave it in. But unless everybody was doing that shit, I'd be like putting it on the news and everything else.
Yeah, and
just to make a hassle.
Everybody's chipped up.
I probably would, if it's not out in the open, I'd probably go to the hospital and lean on them for money and shit, for me blackmail, in other words. That's what I would blackmail them motherfuckers, because they didn't tell me, you know what I'm saying, that they was putting it in. So if they were doing that on the sly, I would blackmail them.
Taking them where they were born, return it. Yeah, return to sender, boy.
If not, I go get my man. Who's the brother that every time a nigga get hurt, they get him. I hate that though.
Johnny Cocker?
No, that other brother, man. He wins. Apparently, he doesn't sound like he's that articulate, but he is kind of articulate in a way. He just ain't, don't sound like a white person, I guess, but or a white black,
European.
But he every case, and then I saw this last one, who was on the side of him, but Al Sharpton. I'm like, oh God, when
what
you see
that guy's name? I know who you're talking about too.
I know it when I hear it. Definitely know him when I see him.
Activist.
I don't ever plan on hiring him. That's why I don't remember his name. But apparently he's a good attorney when it comes to this racial shit, because they keep hiring him.
And he always pops up on the scene immediately.
Yeah. It's like he pops out of like a little, like a
superhero.
Yeah. There's no need to fear. Whatever his name is here. You know what I'm saying?
Full love. With the black fist of justice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Factual.
Find the guy's name though. Forget his name.
We don't gotta look it up. But,
give him some shout outs and shit.
Speaking of, bro, we're gonna find the name right now. We're gonna take us a little cool one, man. It's old school, new school.
We taking a cool one?
Cool, quick one. OG Lee, UNDE. We're gonna be right back.
Subscribe.
Hey, baby.
We're back.
We are back.
Put my Stevie Wonder shit back.
And for the people that were listening, the name we were missing, Ben Crump.
Benjamin Crump.
Ben Crump coming in like a superhero tonight. Benny boy.
Benny in the suits.
But I had another one for you, man.
Another one for you.
I really thought of it a while ago.
Lay it on me, man.
Really, when we're talking more about the Olympics, but when we were speaking or you were talking about it, a good old word of the day came to mind, bro.
Word of the day?
The word of the day, man.
I really missed that. Word of the day.
The word of the day today.
Word of the day
is reluctant.
Reluctant?
It hit me when we were talking
about talking nasty.
It hit me when we were talking about our boy getting jumped over and him that kind of ruined his career.
Who now?
Our boy Frederick Weiss.
Oh,
the Frenchman who got
dunked on.
Literally jumped over.
So you relating something to reluctant?
That's
with
what
that?
I'm thinking. Like him going back to even play basketball, he probably had a little reluctant feeling to even get back on the court in places.
No, he actually went on to have a decent career. But he said he had so much backlash from that he literally had to go in to get some counseling.
Right, bro. So you don't think they had him a little maybe reluctant to step on the court sometime?
No, I think the reluctance was him not seeking counseling. Then he finally relented because he just couldn't deal with it. And he had to go in and get some counseling behind that shit. Damn.
Give me a good sentence. Was that the sentence right there? Give me a sentence with the word, bro, for that word of the day.
Reluctant. My anger makes me want to slap my grandkids sometimes, but I'm reluctant to do that because I don't believe in corporal punishment.
I like that one right there. I have the same feeling about my kids. Oh, your grandkids. Interesting.
No, I'm just joking, man. I haven't had the urge or feel like the need to slap one of them yet. I haven't.
I've had it.
For the most part, they're good, man. And seeing kids the second go round, it's interesting to watch, their parents, whoever they are, how they, train their kids. Because you've already seen it, kind of know what's going to happen from it and all of that, and know whether or not it's necessary. You know what I mean? But I just watch in amazement.
In the long run, speaking of kids, grandkids, little ones, I had a topic for tonight.
Bring it on.
Things we take for granted, bro. I had a few on my end. I was gonna see maybe if it sparked something on your end, or maybe we could trade them back and forth, eh?
Man, things that we take for granted. I don't know. I think just basic stuff.
I'm about to say I'm starting with an easy one, just like leaving home and just arriving back kind of in one piece.
Yeah, that is
walking out your door, walking back in that bad boy, you're all good. And it happens every day, and you know what I mean. This one, you got one?
We take for granted, man. I think we take for granted food, man.
In what aspect? Just
the fact that you're able to go, and some people do it on a daily basis, to go to a market, a grocery store, and pick up whatever you need and bring it back home and be able to eat it. We take that for granted because when I moved down here, it's amazing to see when they announce, when the weatherman says it's going to be some kind of inclement weather, how these people rush to the store, nothing's left on the shelf, right? So imagine if we get, and that's really like within hours.
Yeah.
Imagine if we get into a natural catastrophe, it's going to fly off the shelves again. But is it going